Hey everyone, this is AVJVGaming, bringing you guys trading technique number 7 from the Trading for Starters series. And as you guys can see up on screen here, we're going to focus on this episode on trading technique number 7, the mirror method. So for those of you guys who don't know, it's a trading technique I invented myself, and I'll explain to you guys how the method works. I'll do a very massive in-depth in this video, also covering the topics of when to buy, when to sell, also why does the price increase, and go through a few other topics from this method specifically in this video in depth. So many of you will be wondering, how did I come up with the name mirror method? And this is basically when something happens in real life. For example, if a player scores a hat trick or an amazing goal, or a keeper does an absolute crazy run and scores, or anything that happens crazy in real life, or some important news, that then reflects over into the Ultimate Team market and affects players' prices, and that's where the mirror method came from. So reflecting over and mirror method, so that's where I came up with the name. Now, I came up with this back in FIFA 12 and 13, and this year in FIFA it's been happening very often because the market is not as great as it was in past years, so it's happening a lot more regularly now. What I'm doing up on screen here is looking for the cheapest buy now, and whenever I'm finding something that is cheaper than the average buy now, I'm trying to pick it up. So I'm trying to make a couple thousand. You can see there the cheapest Begovic was 6,400 at this point, and he peaked at around 6,700 or 6,500 on the market. Now I'll explain to you guys a line graph on the peak prices and all that sort of stuff in just a second, but you guys, I'll explain to you also when you can buy, when to sell in just a minute. Now I just want to show you guys how I'm doing it. Now I'm refreshing continuously to find something where I'm not making 100 coins, I'm making 1,000 coins, because eventually the player's price will decrease and you want to avoid making a loss. So you can see that 900 coins, I could have made 5,000 coins off that. I think 5,500 after tax, which, any of you guys know who trade quite often, that is a splendid way of making profit. So you can see over here, I'm just continually searching the cheapest buy now. Many people want to go and buy these players because they're thinking that, he did it in real life, he can do this in the game. But what they don't know is that they actually can't do that. So that's exactly what happens now. Here you can see Begovic, after a couple hours, his price started to decrease, and I'm looking through. Now what I'm doing here is on Ultimate Team Trading, a trading website which helps you guys find the cheapest buy now, and also offers a little bit of a line graph in the price development over the last 24 hours. So I'm just going to keep refreshing that till it appears, and there it is. So you can see the average price of his before the actual event when he scored, I think a week and 4 days ago, was around 800 coins, and then suddenly it maxes out to 6,500. And I'll explain to you guys also the timescale, which is very important. Now we're going to do the in-depth right now, so I think 3 minutes in we'll cover it, and I'll take out the extract from the Ultimate Team Trading website and put it in for you. So you can see here I put an axis in, which is going to be on the vertical, it's going to be the price, and on the horizontal is going to be the time or duration, which is represented in hours. Now I'll remove the time in just a second and represent that by the average price. Now the average selling price, or the normal selling price, is the price you're selling for, or the player selling for, before the event actually happened. And I think you can see just there's 800 coins just in the middle. That's around about the line that's representing that. So he was going for around 800 coins. Then the event happens where a player does an amazing goal, a hat trick, a player retires from the game and no longer will be in the game. Something big that happens also in the game, sometimes bad events that happen. So anything that happens like that will have a big effect on the market, and then people feel, we got to go pick up that player. So the price will suddenly increase and shoot up. Now if you know a player that's on 2 goals, possibly going for a hat trick, they're going to most likely get a hat trick, and you'll see that increase will go very quickly onto the price. Now I put sharp price increase, and I emphasize on the sharp because the time scale is very important. Now it'll increase by within 1 to 5 minutes of the event happening, because it takes people time to get onto the web app or the console and buy that player, because they think it's going to happen in Ultimate Team like that. And then you guys will see here there's going to be a peak price for around about, give or take, I did plus or minus 10 minutes. And the reason for that is because people realize that player isn't that good. So they're going to try selling. And the reason I say peak price is this only lasts for a certain period of time. And that's because people are trying to undercut each other in the market. And when people are undercutting, the price doesn't increase anymore. So it reaches a stable point, which I've put in green over there, peak price. And then eventually it's going to reach a decline, and that will be the decrease in price. Now, for many of you guys who are not sure when to sell, I sell during the sharp price increase towards the top of the peak price, and you'll notice that because there'll be lots of people undercutting you in the market, so that's when you're reaching that peak price. That's when I would sell. When to buy is just as the event's happening. So if a player does do that, by all means, please pick them up in the market, and then even if you want to sell them later, for if they're going for the normal value, if they didn't increase, you're not really making a mega loss because you'll be selling them for around about what you picked them up for. And then on the decrease side, guys, it takes more time, so it takes 1 to 2 hours to decrease the price back to their normal value. So I'm using Son as he was in form this week. Well, pretty much he scored 3 goals this weekend and scored a hat-trick. Showing you guys my theory on the decrease side and also his average price, because it's very important. Now, I think I didn't get to cover properly the when to buy. So buy as soon as the event happens. You've got nothing to lose because you can sell them later on and probably even make a 50 coin loss. But if he does go up, the player does go up, you could be making 10 times your coin value like Son did. He went from 350 coins to 3,500 coins. So definitely mega profits involved in this method. Also, when to sell, try selling towards the peak. You'll notice it because lots of people are undercutting one another in the market. It's very obvious, and then you can make your coin straight away. Now, many people say, I sold my player too early. Be grateful, I'd say, guys, that you sold your player and made some profit, because some people can't even get into the method and they find it very difficult. And then some people also sell it too late and make a loss because they don't realize the price does decrease after a period. So try doing this method, guys. Let me know how it goes for you. There's going to be every time a match happens. It works very well during finals or semi-finals, as it did last year with the Champions League Lewandowski. I made almost 200k on Lewandowski, which was crazy. And you guys can see here the decline will be over a longer period of time than the initial sharp increase. So definitely follow that, and the player's price always does return back to normal. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. By all means, please do drop it a like, guys, and subscribe here for more daily FIFA 14 videos, tips, and also trading techniques. But this has been AVJVGaming, and I'll catch you guys for the next episode.